What is the best Bible translation? Well, that may not be the best way to put it when we're talking about Bible translations. In the English alone, we have well over 200 different translations. We just are very rich whenever it comes to Bible translations, especially whenever we consider that other countries and languages don't have a Bible in their language at all. Sometimes they may just have the Gospel of John or the New Testament. But we have lots to choose from, and so therefore the question comes up, especially for us speaking English, what is the best Bible translation? Well, we've got a lot to choose from, and really whenever you ask that question, the better question is, what is the best Bible translation for what? What are you talking about? Are we talking about for study? Are we talking about for memorization? Are we talking about from using from the pulpit? Are we talking about reading to our kids? Lots of different Bible translations for a lot of different purposes. And so really what we need to do is understand the different types of Bible translations that are out there. Now some Bible translations, such as the King James Version, the New American Standard Version, and to some degree the English Standard Version, they seek to be more of what people would call a formal equivalence. And that's just a fancy word to say they mean word for word. That's what they want to translate it as. Whenever they translate the Bible, they seek to translate one Greek or Hebrew word with the English equivalent. Now, we can only go so far with that. All Bible translation is interpretation to some degree. But if you wanted to get as close to the original as possible, you want to use one of these types of Bible translations. However, we also want to understand the Bible and have it smoothly read many times. And so whenever we're talking about reading from the pulpit or reading in public, I usually like to use the NIV, maybe the New Living Translation. Why? Because those are what are called dynamic equivalent translations. And a dynamic equivalent translation seeks to translate, rather than word for word, sentence for sentence. So you take a sentence in Hebrew and Greek and translate the whole sentence into English. It'll be a little bit looser, a little bit less stilted, and sometimes more understandable, but the issue is there'll be more interpretation involved. And then finally, we have other Bible translations that are out there, like the Living Translation or the Phillips Translation or the Message by Eugene Peterson. These are called paraphrases. And paraphrases don't seek to do it sentence by sentence, but really, if you can think of it this way, paragraph by paragraph. And they are seeking to translate idioms into the English idioms. And so if we had a word like, he stuck his foot in his mouth, that would be translated in English, he stuck his foot in his mouth, but we don't really have a Greek equivalent for that. And so it just depends upon what you're using it for. I tell people to memorize in one of the more formal equivalents, such as New American Standard, or maybe even the NIV was as far away as I would get. But it just depends upon what you're using it for. The best thing you want to know, you have them all available. Have a different type for everything that you're doing.